Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I am going to be talking about Rogue One and the way that the film approaches morality. So there are spoilers in this, so let me jump right into it. So I recently did some commentary on Jyn Erso, the character of Jyn Erso, and I was really thinking about Jyn Erso and her character and just the way she's presented. And it was also making me think about really how the female characters, the major female characters in the film are portrayed. And one of the things I was looking forward to most in the film was Mon Mothma. So, and when I walked out of Rogue One, it was a slight disappointment in that I'm a huge fan of Mon Mothma. I really liked seeing her in episodes 4 and in episode 6. She's this really dynamic leader, and she's always been one of my favorite characters, so I was really super psyched to see her in Rogue One. But when we see her in Rogue One, I walked out of the film thinking she's very weak, right? Because, I wanted to see her, say, yeah, we're gonna bring the Rebel fleet right into, to stop and get the Death Star plans. And she did a lot of equivocating and, really not decisive action, and not the actions that I wanted to see a strong leader make, right? But the more I thought about it, I think, it was the writers for Rogue One knew where they were heading, and they made the right decision in that. I think what Rogue One has a really interesting perspective on morality as it pertains to how the characters are walking that morality out. So one of the things that I always have loved about Star Wars is that Star Wars has heroes and villains. And they're very clearly heroes and they're very clearly villains. Now, there's also been some nuance in the films, from the very beginning. Han Solo, is he a villain or is he a hero, right? He's a little of both. And, but at the end of the day, he clearly comes down on the side of the heroes, right? So I always thought that was interesting. Well, I think Rogue One is kind of taking that lever of complexity about morality, kind of ratcheting it back, right? Now, for me, morality is very clear. I don't think I think there's truly good and truly evil. And so it's relatively straightforward for me, compared to most people. But I see where they're heading with this. So recently I was having a conversation, and this is where I think they landed with Rogue One, and it is very interesting from a character's perspective how morality is portrayed by each of the characters. And I think rather than having two or three types where you have hero, villain, and someone in between, which is 3, here you're looking at 4 really distinct perspectives on morality within Rogue One through 4 very distinct characters, right? And Jyn Erso is in there, and that's what prompted this, was just, thinking about my commentary for Jyn Erso made me come to this perspective on morality as it's presented within Rogue One. And I think there are 4 types of morality presented within Rogue One. So I was recently talking with someone, and we were talking about, did this person did they choose to do the right thing, right? And so as a person, you could choose, there is a right thing. There's a right way to do things, right? And so you could choose to do the right thing, or you could choose not to do the right thing, right? But in addition to that, there is the question of, are you choosing to do the right thing in the right way, right? So not only do you have the choice to do the right thing or not to do the right thing, but you can choose to do the right thing in the right way or not in the right way. You can also choose to do choose to not do the right thing, but not do that right thing in not the right way, or to do or not do the right thing in the right way. So actually, it is confusing. Sorry, and thank you for hearing all the way through. And I think what I'll try to do is now explain examples. So Jyn Erso, in my opinion, is not doing the right thing in the right way, okay? She is the first of the morality types within Rogue One. So Jyn Erso is not doing the right thing in that she is not standing, at the beginning of the film, she is not standing up for the rebels, right? And I hate to say it, I don't give her credit when her dad dies and she joins the rebellion. It's an action of convenience. It is really, in my opinion, a selfish choice, right? So in my opinion, in the film, if you're looking at Jyn Erso is not doing the right thing. She sees the Empire. She knows the evil of the Empire. She has been trained by Saw Gerrera. She's a skilled warrior. She has the ability to help the rebellion. She has the ability to help lots of people. And all she's doing is just, flitting about and keeping her head down. That's not the right thing, right? But she is doing it in the right way, right? Now, what do I mean by that? I think it's clear as you look at Jyn Erso that when she's doing things, she's trying, not only is she keeping her head down, trying to stay out of the way, she is also making sure that she's not harming others, right? And there are times in the film where if she protects K2SO, she protects a child that's in danger. And then the other thing is, when it comes time and there's an urgency and there's something pressing and people need her help, she jumps in, right? So she is looking around, she's being observant, she's being responsive, she's doing things in the right way. But in my opinion, Jyn Erso is not doing the right thing. If you take all of her actions flat, right? She's just not doing. So I think she's an example of a character who is not doing the right thing in the right way. Okay. Now, Cassian Andor, very, very interesting character. He is a character who is doing the right thing in clearly not the right way. Okay. Second morality type, right? And so he is serving the rebellion. He has served the rebellion since he was 6 years old. He uses all of his skills. He uses his soft skills and his hard skills. He uses his combat skills. He uses diplomacy. He uses his speed, his ability to communicate. He uses his ability to rally people, right? And all of this is done to serve the rebellion, to stop the Empire, to help the downtrodden, and to lift the rebellion up. That's the right thing. He is doing it in the wrong way, right? This is not me saying this. He says this in the film. He says, I've taken actions that I'm not proud of many times, right? Now, we actually see this early in the film. He shoots a man in the back, right? Talks to him like a friend, literally puts his arm around him, and then takes his blaster and shoots him like in the back. That's not the right way. This is kind of this one's a no-brainer. Cassian Andor doing the right thing, not doing it in the right way. Okay. Now, this is the entire point of this video. The reason why I chose to talk about this subject is Mon Mothma. I think Mon Mothma, I was at first, when I looked at how Mon Mothma was portrayed in Rogue One, I thought that she wasn't portrayed the way she should have been. I've always thought of Mon Mothma as a dynamic leader, but the reality is, Mon Mothma as a strong leader, but the reality is she is a dynamic leader. She is the leader that the rebellion desperately needs, right? Cassian Andor, there was a halt to his progress in the rebellion. He actually, he dies, and then he clearly is no longer going up through the rebellion ranks. Mon Mothma continues to go up through the rebellion ranks all the way through episode 6, right? And she's a fascinating character, and she's exactly the leader that the rebellion needs at all the different times. And so, while I didn't like her choices in Rogue One, they were absolutely necessary, right? You need someone who's cautious, who thinks. You need someone who is growing as a person and growing in her leadership skills and all those kind of things. So I think Mon Mothma is the third morality type within this film. She's doing the right thing, serving the rebellion. She's doing it in the right way, making choices that make some people unhappy and make some people happy, right? Making choices that seem cautious, making choices that are unpopular, making choices that are hard for her to make, right? Making choices that get people killed, right? Making choices that save lives, right? She is a person of compromise, right? And as far as politics, I think, which clearly Mon Mothma is in, you need somebody who can, do the moving and the shaking. And, and Mon Mothma is a really, really interesting leader. And so, I think she is somebody who's doing the right thing and doing it in the right way, right? And then last is Orson Krennic, right? He is the fourth morality type within Rogue One. So Orson Krennic, who is essentially the director who pulls all the pieces together to create the Death Star and is the overall responsible for the building of the Death Star. Orson Krennic is not doing the right thing, and he is not doing it in the right way, right? So he is serving the Empire. He is suppressing people. He is making death weapons. He is strip mining different planets. He is doing the wrong thing. The way he does it is seeking his own power, right? Making sure that the people, not caring at all about the people who serve him, frequently shooting his own people, right? Harming the loved ones of his friends, all those kind of things. So Orson Krennic is that fourth type. He is someone who is not doing the right thing and not doing it in the right way. So I thought this was a very interesting perspective on how Rogue One approached morality. Very, very interesting. And I think there are really these very clearly defined types within Rogue One. Thank you. Take care.